It's the big brain bug, like on the larger sized base. Maybe 3D printing will have to save you. I don't know. I don't know. Unless they all must be as one, because they're from the same brood or something.
No, that's not necessary. Like I've mentioned it before.
Oh, your tournament army, right?
Well, not a tournament army, but like if I go to like Games Workshop specific events, or if we go to Warhammer World,
Sceptor.
Yeah, you got it.
Toxicrene Maliceptor.
Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying, Melon. You're right. You did mention that, and that makes sense. I forgot.
It's just my nids. They're the only ones that I'm like, I really just want them to be.
No, I can appreciate that. It's probably smart to have an army that would be welcome to Warhammer World if you were to make the pilgrimage. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool thing to do. It'd be nice to take an army if you go.
Yeah, that's my baby. The Tyranids are my.
Yeah, I think
a large lad.
With all that laid out, I think you are of the right mind.
Yeah, so I just gotta wait until they come back. Everything else I have lots of Molochs, lots of Trigons. Those are out of stock right now.
So, what are you guys saying? What are you hobbing on? Well, good evening, fellow hobbyists.
Yeah, greetings.
Yeah, hail to the chat. Hail and hail to you guys. What are you working on, Melon, Sean?
I've got some new sculpt Hormagaunts that I'm putting together. About it.
I am working on finishing some Gellerpox that are the whatchamacallit, a Curse Cultist, Dark Commune, and some Legionnaire and Raptor Black Legion guys. But I'll be focusing on the Dark Commune and Gellerpox first.
Nice.
Interesting. Do the Gellerpox like perfectly translate, or?
Oh yeah. I mean they're
like
a
same base
little
size and all of that, like.
They're a little bigger, but I didn't even look what base size they're on. I just put them on the right base sizes.
Oh, they looked great.
They're probably bigger, but they are bigger. But I don't care.
Hey, not all torments are created equally, you know. I think it's okay.
All good.
You even get like an extra guy, right? Because it's 4 Gellerpox.
Yeah. I didn't paint one. You get because it's a bigger guy and you can only take 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use for the extra, like, regular dude? Because that's 5, right? I think in the Gellerpox they only have 3 like man-sized dudes. You just use one of the weird.
I used 2 of the. No, I used 2 of the fly columns because they're about the same height.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I was gonna like 3D print or something. I'm like, oh, these are tall enough. Like,
I would have just took 2 of the shorties and put them on top of each other. Like.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
2 dudes in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. That's a good idea too.
Yeah. BattleTech. Always wanted to get into BattleTech.
Yeah, Verado's been working on BattleTech for a while.
For the hottest of minutes.
Seems pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool game system.
Yeah, it's free. It's been around for years. I used to play a lot of Mech Warrior growing up. It's in that universe.
Right on.
I played some Gladius today.
Oh yeah, how'd you like it?
It's like that other game. Whatchamacallit? I can't remember. Is it Civilization or? I played a game very similar to it before. I can't.
Kind of like.
Maybe.
Civ?
No,
yeah,
it's a skin for a different game. I feel like we've talked about this before, but I just can't remember. Hang on, I'm gonna
Kind
look
of
it
like
up.
Inquisitor and Diablo, kind of like that.
No, it's not like that.
In that
No,
they
it's-
are reminding you of another game. I mean,
Oh, maybe yeah, something like that.
Gladius is a uh, for hang on, it's bringing up Gladiator 40K Gladius game.
I'm just
What is
painting
this?
some Possessed. Oh yeah.
Excellent. Is this the second unit?
Yeah, this would be the second half of the Slanesh unit. So this one will have the banner bearer guy.
Civilization.
I think we said that earlier. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was that what I said? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
it
that
is.
is what you said.
It's basically a Civ skin.
But look, now you know. Now we all know.
Yeah.
Don't
I
forget.
know. Next time it comes up, I'll forget. Yeah. Such is the way my brain works.
The ever conundrum of the ADHD.
So there's like zero Warhammer or 40k news, right? It's all Age of Sigmar release week stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind.
Siggy month.
I don't mind. It's kind of nice to just have a break of releases because it always feels like there's something being pushed, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now you can just kind of chill out for a bit.
I'm still getting used to the pariah stuff, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid.
Any complaints or quandaries about it?
Secret missions. I haven't had the opportunity to take them yet, but just in like reading and listening to podcasts and stuff, they seem very, very easy. Especially, yeah.
I haven't got a chance to try them, and I've only played 2 Pariah games, but I've neglected to take them every time.
3 or
Yeah.
4.
The only game of Pariah I played was with you, Cypher, and it was alright. But Secret Missions, the little bit I've read, do you think it's like ban worthy? Like, no Secret Mission. No.
Potentially, like, basically, if you plan around doing it, especially if you go second, right?
Yeah.
You plan on just getting 5 on primary the first 3 turns, and then at the end of turn 3, you opt for a secret mission. You score 20 on your primary from holding your home objective for 5, and then you achieve your secret mission, which could be really easy for 20, and you get 40 on primary for doing like playing very uninteractive Warhammer.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
It could be really crappy for like Hypercrypt Necrons or something. Like, you know, they just hold one objective, hold one objective, hold one objective. Last game, teleport, 3-inch deep strike, you know, units onto 3 objectives in the middle, 20 points. Game over. I did nothing all fucking game.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like the play for those kind of zippy tough armies like Thousand Suns, Grey Knights, maybe Eldar, but they're not as tough.
Yeah. Well, you get 2 turns to decide, almost 3 basically, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when you decide, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't had it happen to me, but we'll see what starts happening with these bigger brain players. But it looks like it could, in theory, lend to some very uninteractive Warhammer,
True.
My favorite.
which is lame.
Yeah, no, I agree.
My favorite.
Oh, uninteractive Warhammer.
Well, it already had me thinking about like switching back to Deathwatch, because like, okay, I sit on my home objective for 3 turns, I score 15. I just, you know, oath and blast priority targets, you know, like thin things out, do my secondaries, and then at the end of the game, I take my Warlord off the board and teleport him onto your home field objective for 20 points.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty sound strategy.
I was also thinking like of trying them again just because of the Watchmaster's Vect ability changing. Just like it's a little more interesting on a melee guy in a group of 10 dudes running up the board, making all your stratagems cost one more.
I honestly have been thinking about it for Swarmlord, right? Because he does the same effect. He has effect.
Yeah.
He also gives me a CP.
Yeah.
He's stronger now at strength 10 with Twin Linked and 8 attacks that are all damage 3. So, like,
It's pretty good.
yeah, I actually.
Same thing with the Watchmaster. He's one of the few things that actually went down. Veterans went down 10 points back to 100, which is, reasonable.
Yep.
And then he went down. He was like 125 points, and I think he's down to 100 now.
100 sounds fair.
Well, it was like, why is this guy so expensive? Like, why? Like, seriously.
Hey, clarify something for me around those changes. So, the Rites of Battle style abilities that are common to many units now just flat out reduce the cost of any stratagem by 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can still have 0 CP stratagems if they costed 1 before.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it also now makes 2 CP stratagems that were not battle tactics before very interesting.
Yep.
Which is why I've been trying the Veterans of the Longward attachment and running a couple Chaos Lords, because they had some really, really good strats. It was just they were 2 CP and they weren't battle tactics, and it was like, oh, how the fuck am I ever going to use them? So I've been using that.
You're a dirty man.
So I've been like killing my Oath of Moment target, my Focus of Ire, or whatever the fuck it's called. And then it was a 2 CP strat again to choose a new one. So now I use a Chaos Lord and I make a second Oath of Moment target, usually for my melee.
Yeah, for the fight phase. Makes sense.
Yep. And there was another one, the 2 CP to if your Focus of Ire target enters melee contact a unit for 2 CP, you can give that unit fights first. So now, like, there's just nice little combos. Like, you could switch your Focus of Ire, and then next you give that unit fights first and stuff. So just a little bit of jank, a little bit of trickery, a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that's valid. That sounds like a fun ace to play.
Yeah.
Well, and the threat of it's good too, right? Like, do you have fights first? Yeah, I do.
I could.
Do,
I could always have it.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes the threat of it is better than using it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Verado talking about 5th edition Swarmlord. He's not really been good except for the beginning of 6th edition, because when 6th edition came out is when they changed the psychic phase to be like you're like fucking channeling these mystic stones and you're generating your psychic powers, and it was random. And Tyranids didn't have their own psychic tree at the beginning of 6th edition, so they went through Biomancy. Biomancy was strictly making the Psyker stronger. There were a couple of buff spells, like there was a Feel No Pain one, but like you just wanted this one power that gave like D3 strength and toughness and D3 attacks, and you put that on Swarmlord. And back then, toughness was always like 6. Like a Land Raider was 6, Swarmlord was 6. Like all monsters and vehicles were just T6 back then. And well, actually, the Land Raider wasn't even toughness; it was armor value. But the Swarmlord was 6, and so getting him to like T9, and like I think 12 attacks. I want to say it was 12 attacks if you rolled hot on the D3, and he just ran through things. But he wasn't the broken thing. They had to change this because when their book came out, they didn't let them have Biomancy anymore. They they gave them their own one, which it really sucked. It was like really terrible psychic tree. But the one that fucking like just made things broken was the Turvagon. The Turvagon could get to this like T9, strength 9, and like with crushing claws, like just wreck shit, and you could not hurt them. And they always were generating. Back then, it was 3d6 Termagants would spawn, but if you rolled any doubles, they weren't allowed to birth anymore. They went like menopause was what it was called.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Was
People called
it?
it.
Oh, people
Yeah,
called it. Okay.
No,
yeah.
no, people called it, not in the book. Yeah, the Turvagon went menopause, and then it was done. And by GW.
Yeah, it's so funny. I was like, no way.
I,
That's
I'd
impossible.
I'd relook Verona. I'm pretty sure it was doubles.
That's
Because I remember it was on the flip side. They're like, oh, I got triples. And that doesn't count, but I mean, it does count. But I swear to God, it was doubles. But either way, regardless of what it is, the Turvagon being like this like powerhouse monster that was kind of cheap and also spawned like waves of gaunts in front of it. It was like ridiculous. Parasite Amortrex was really strong back then. It would go into units of gargoyles and make the gargoyles like really hard to shift. What was the other popular model back then? Exocrines didn't exist back then. Power Specs didn't exist. Drop pods weren't there. Trigon was okay, but it didn't do it didn't benefit from any of the psychic powers. Yeah, I remember during that time when I was playing Nids, just like I was just hoping for biomancy, hoping for whatever it was. It was like iron arm or something like that was like the power, and it was just silly.
it made them Lechonk.
It made them Lechonk. Gene Stealers were pretty good back then, I remember, because they were troops. I mean, they were troops right up until like 8th edition.
Speaking of troops, Battle Line, we played the mission that actually had one of the missions, I should say, that actually had a benefit to Battle Line, so it was kind of cool.
Which
It's,
one?
What was it?
if you're a Battle Line, you were eligible to fall back and action, and maybe shoot. I'm not sure, but definitely action.
That's a fun twist.
So that came up. Like I had a Battle Line unit tied up, and with the chariot, the Ren Master, and I wanted to fall back and do an action, but the demon player was a dick and did not allow me to do so.
Oh yeah, because he plays corn and they got that one. Is it a corn power or some shit like that?
I don't know. He just said I had to pass a leadership test to fall back, and I
think
couldn't.
it's Bloodthirster ability.
Oh, I see.
It sounds like it.
Oh, it was it might have been. It was something, and that's also when I realized that either I'd been playing it wrong or they changed it with the icons only allow you to reroll Dark Pack leadership, not regular leadership. So I don't know if that was a change or if I was just playing it wrong all along. I didn't play Chaos.
It might have been the codex, a change from the codex. I can't recall though.
Yeah,
it's possible.
So I learned a thing.
Yeah, that was there used to be a bunch of characters too. Like looking back on like the old Tyranid book. So when 10th edition launched and they showed off the Neuro Tyrant, I thought that was going to be the Doom of Malantai coming back.
Yeah, so
and the Doom of Malantai.
You'd think.
Well, the Doom of Malantai was just like a souped up Zoanthrope. I mean, he looks like his old artwork looks like the Neuro Tyrant now, but my God, was he a fucking nightmare for people? Like he was what a broken like singular model was. Like there was, if you got one turn to get him like going, he never died. He did tremendous amounts of damage. His ability was every time you inflicted a wound with the Doom of Malantai, which I'll get to is very easy to do, he would raise his total number of wounds up to a maximum of 10. And back in the day, 40k, it was very hard to like. There was no multi-damage thing. You either instant death something or you just did one damage. If you shot a last cannon at something, if you didn't double it out in terms of its toughness, you just took one wound off of it. So the Doom of Malantai had an ability anything that was non-vehicle within 6 inches of it had to take a leadership check, and it was on 3d6, and the amount you failed by was how many wounds you took with no armor saves allowed. So he could sit in the middle of somebody's army, siphon tons of wounds off of everything, go up to 10 wounds. Back in the day, Zone Thropes had a 3-up invulnerable save, and just not die unless you doubled him out. Like, just outright. Like, you had to double him out. And he still got powers. So he got Iron Arm, which I just said, like, adds D3 toughness. So there was a point where he could not literally die. If you rolled and got the 3, he'd go to T7. There was nothing that was strength 14, like, at all. Like, I'm pretty sure Railgun was, like, the quintessential, like, holy shit gun, and that was still only, like, strength 10, maybe strength 12, in terms of, like, strength profile. And you, again, could not double him out. So he would just sit there with 10 wounds. You would have to try and chew through all of his wounds that he had a 3-up invulnerable save, and he would just continuously siphon more and more health from everyone, gain his wounds back, because he just kept gaining them back up to a maximum of 10, and just keep going from there. It's just so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love the energy, okay, of that kind of rule, but definitely feels like a tabletop RPG type thing, you know? It's not
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, he was definitely
play or fair play. That sounds like a narrative type of boss character, you know?
Yeah, he was a raid boss. He was definitely a raid boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Verado. In 6th edition was when the pods came out. They didn't exist model-wise, but they had, you know, the Tyranid drop pods, which there was like a whole... I forget the company that like went under because of it. Chapter House, I think it was. They made... because Tervagon model wasn't out. Drop pods weren't out. And Doom and Malantai wasn't out. Yeah, well, there was a bunch of models, like 5th edition, and I want to say 6th edition until that like box set of Against Blood Angels, like you and I were talking about yesterday, Kuiper, was when they put out like the pod model, maybe the Tervagon, I don't remember. There's a bunch of models that like came out during that little box set era, but like Chapter House made a bunch of these non-existent models for Tyranids, but called them the model, like called them a Tervagon, called them you know, a Tyranid drop pod.
What a time, right? Crazy.
But when they did that, they got sued crazy bad. Like they were it was like this huge fucking thing. And it was around that time where like GW was like even going after like the word Space Marine. I remember they tried to sue this like lady that was like, she wrote a book about it was called Space Marine, if I'm not mistaken, and they wanted to sue her for that, and like there was a whole bunch. Like GW during like the 5th, 6th edition era were cutthroat. Like they were like pushing like the Disney like mentality, and it was pretty comical to watch, but also like kind of sad because like some of these models, like people just wanted the model. Like back then, nobody could sculpt shit. Like it's not like today where like I watched you like sculpt that Tyrannifex, and like it's like, you know, better than most things that like some of the GW models can come out with. Like the tools and the skills are much more improved from than back then, and now you
That's
know
fair.
People can, well, most of the models are made, and then the books do not make any more like situations like that to happen. That's part of the reason why.
That's why the fun
Chapter House
from a lot of
that Chapter House thing, I want to say like kind of killed the fun of the game, of like the creativity side of it, because the rules for those models were then taken away unless they had a model, and then even after that the rules have like been really like brought down a peg in terms of like the oomph and the action that comes from it. But
Well,
yeah,
you're right on the money. You can feel it even on war gear, right? Like
yeah,
chosen should have their pick of. They can't even choose their war gear, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, the
yeah.
chosen war
It's
gear
sad,
is
right?
this.
Space Marines have gone down too from that as well. Like in general, the
Yeah, I think
flexibility
most
of like
armies, right? Unless it comes in the box, you don't really have those options.
yeah, and
There's
with the
a few outliers, but
Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
there are. It's
Yeah.
awkward. It's extra awkward because of that.
yeah things like the Devastator Havocs. But the other problem is also the game itself. Like the 10th edition game makes it because you're not paying points for things like a heavy bolter. So it's like, well, fucking, am I gonna take a last cannon or am I gonna take a heavy flamer or some shit?
Yeah.
And I'm not in Sisters of Battle. Like, why would I subject myself to this?
It does make the list building a little awkward sometimes.
It does. I do think that like they kind of missed the mark on the points thing in terms of
Well, yeah. And sometimes you just like, I don't want to take all the extra gear on these Space Marines. I just want them to cost 50 points, you know, like
yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely hurt some factions more than others.
Yeah.
The ones without good cheap chaff, you know.
Yeah, honestly. Even looking at things like in Eldar, like the Wraith Knight will pay for its sins because of the double Wraith Cannon, but the poor humble Wraith Knight with a sword and a shield has to suffer for that, right? And he is infinitely worse.
For big fancy units like that, they should do two profiles: Wraith Knight with whatchamacallit cannon, Wraith Knight with
100%. And they've done
big
it
choppy sword
on units like the Lehman Russ, which have like 12 goddamn profiles, right? It's crazy to me. I mean, the Wraith Knight only has one.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe they make
Carnifex
that
only has one, right? Like,
I was gonna say
terrible.
maybe they make that change when the Codex comes in.
For Eldar,
maybe.
they might. The Tyranid one is kind of just gone now.
No, they
'Cause,
forgot.
like-
They forgot about Carnifexes.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should put on my tinfoil hat and think it's because they just want to discourage people from enjoying their older classic Carnifex. I don't know. It's possible.
I don't know.
Look,
All my Carnifexes have Screamer Killer loadout. Now the Screamer Killer exists, so I'm just like, well, fuck me.
yeah, it feels bad.
Yeah, and I mean he's bigger, and now with this points reduction, I would say he's better, but not by much. Regular Carnifex still has its like.
Oh, the Carnifex one irks me, like especially because the dock effects was a thing. Like it almost feels out of touch to not include that option, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like what? Like, are you not aware that people like kitting out their Carnifexes for various situations and builds? And even run like, oh, here's a fun whole list of all Carnifex, right? That's a fun thing people could do. And now it's like, oh, well, there's no rule of 3. Sorry, bye. And then that's it.
Ishendria is asking about 1 Terminator Sorcerer, 1 Warpsmith, 3x5 Legionaries, 1 Cultist unit, 5 Terminators, 2 Rhinos, 3 Vindicators, 1 unit of 2 Obliterators, and a Knight Despoiler. That's the melee one? Oh, it's the one with the fist and a gun?
What's the
The Fellhammer.
Is this
Fellhammer.
just catching on.
That's the
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors one. Now, so the problem with that list is that, especially the more like I played Pariah and the more I've listened to podcasts, is that there's more emphasis on doing things. So that's I would label that more of in the lines of like killy list. I mean, if you like souping in knights and stuff for fun, by all means, 3 Vindicators is a lot, and they only have 24-inch range.
Yeah, and it's not Raiders, so you're not getting
And
that assault.
yeah, and maybe drop 1 Vindicator if you use that to get more actionable units.
Do we know the?
I agree
They're a
with that.
lot too. 200 points is a lot. I like them, but I would personally
yeah, they're expensive
probably
because they're good, for sure.
yeah. Personally, I'd probably cap, like if I were to take Vindicators, I would take them at 2. That list looks like it would like Vindicators, Obliterators, and a Nightwall dummy vehicles. So maybe look at even like drop the Vindicator, take another squad of Cultists and a Predator autocannon one with the heavy bolters for some ranged killing of.
Yeah,
The
you
infantry?
you've put me on to the autocannon Predator. It's
It's
pretty
not
nice.
bad, eh? It's not bad.
Yeah,
Hey,
with the-
people have been taking it with las cannons, but I've actually been running it with heavy bolters, and AP2 heavy bolters are, and you can go lethal, and then you get lethal and sustained. It's not bad.
yeah, I think it's a good all arounder. I don't think it needs. I don't think it needs the last cannons.
It's got a purpose, right? Like,
Yeah, I think it's better. It's better with the bolters.
Greetings, Pyro. Welcome. Playing Leviathan. Old news, man. It's it's all about pariah.
What I was gonna ask is relative to Leviathan, there seems to be at least 2 more secondary missions that are action based. Is that correct, or is there? It feels like there's more.
there's
I thought it was 5.
so yeah, there's a lot. Like, there's the go in the building sabotage. There's that one.
Yeah, that's a new one.
There's the do actions in 3 table sides, and then there's still engage, and there's then scan the sides of the table. Yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
So you need
That's
scan units,
Yep, you need to have some action monkeys, as they say.
Like, that being said, like list building is hard to comment on because you build with a purpose, right? Like, are you gonna table your opponent? Like, say, I'm gonna do my secondaries, I'm gonna fuck primary, and I'm gonna go for the table use secret mission. Like,
Well, yeah, you could.
then like that's an option.
Yeah, you have.
Not my favorite, but yeah, totally is.
Not my personal favorite, but to each
Look,
their own.
different strokes, right?
Yeah.
Some people like to blast. I get it.
Just
yeah.
ready to blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think
Yeah.
I lost you.
Oh.
You're back?
You're good.
Who lost who?
No, you're good. You're good. It was just a blip. It was probably just me.
Yeah, it was you.
If Chandra, if that, like, I don't know what the points come to. Like, an autocannon pred in cultist is 190. A Vindicator might be 185, so I don't know if the math works out perfectly, but it doesn't have to be a pred. I would drop 1 Vindicator for something, like some fast moving bikes. Venom crawlers are very good. I think they're 110.
They're very good. Great anti-marine
Chosen.
guys, honestly.
Kiefer would like to echo the Lord Discordant as a sleeper pick.
Oh,
Oh,
who's
please.
saying that? Who's up on who's up on that? Up on my secrets.
Look, you got him excited.
Up on my
Ooms.
secrets. Look, I know you're a filthy meta chaser. You only play what's good, but
No, I don't only play what's
sometimes
good, but I don't play what's complete trash.
The Discord isn't complete trash.
You know what? Like,
Is it?
I can play complete
Honestly.
trash against some people, but like, you know how our play group is. They're like, we don't follow the meta, but I've never brought an unoptimal list in my life.
Listen, you gotta be the change you wish to see. All right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look, all
You
I'm
might
saying
be
is,
okay with
yeah,
losing 75% of your games. I am not.
I'll have you know, I won my last game.
against
Can you
Biggie.
say you've defeated New Sisters? Because I have. Okay.
Very nice.
Oh,
Very
shit.
nice.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
I kid.
Good for you.
What was Biggie Smalls running?
He was running the Flamer detachment, and I honestly, I was running a stupid list anyway. I was running the Phoenix Force, right? It was a fun game. I got to live the dream. Chef's kiss, fun time. Would do
Yeah.
again, but I only won because he made a huge fucking error. Huge, absolutely huge.
That sounds like him.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
he had a big Celestine blob that was kept in reserves for way too long, and then brought down in a bad spot. And they just didn't get to earn their points and have the impact you would expect from such a potent unit.
Yeah, true. It's kind of a waste.
played
I
them,
also find that
last week.
I find Celestine in a unit can sometimes be a bit of a trap, like because she's such a scalpel, you can kind of drop her a little bit further away or rapid ingress her in behind like walls with her little Gemini bros, and just use her to like go
Take out
almost
something
like
crucial.
yeah, mostly like go for like chaff stuff, but also like possibly like go for a scalpel kill on like a character or something like that.
Oh,
Has
like the Disco Lord. I see what you're saying. I understand the value perfectly now.
One
Perfectly.
is a jump infantry and the other is a vehicle demon monster.
He's worse. He's
li-
mounted. He can't even get the benefits of being a vehicle.
That's so bad.
But he can go through walls or something then, right?
Oh
I
my
don't think so.
God.
Unless he's in the
No.
detachment.
No.
No, he
So-
couldn't.
Because
He
he's
couldn't.
poop. He's
He's
poop.
he's not a vehicle, or is he a vehicle?
No, he's not. He's mounted. He's got the worst.
Oh,
keyboard.
that is so heartbreaking. Because like then I was like, well, maybe didn't one of the detachments or one of the stratagems in Chaos get to let you go through walls?
If you're a vehicle, I think. Or a
Yeah,
monster.
so
If
that's
you-
what-
that's the Soulforge Warp Pack one.
Yeah, because then I would have been like, oh yeah, he'd be great in that.
You could-
He's-
You could spend 1 CP and maybe turn him into a vehicle. I don't know. Or into a thing. No, because he's not a vehicle. No, you can't even give him a keyword. You can turn
Because-
one vehicle into a demon vehicle.
He has demon, but he's demon mounted.
That's so
yeah,
bad.
no, but you need like
Vehicle keyword.
Yeah.
demonic vehicle, or
Which is
whatever
too
the demon
bad.
key-
Like a Lord Discordant is a type of like Warpsmith offshoot, right? You would hope that he would have like synergy in that.
Yo,
detachment,
if he-
any.
If he still had the Warpsmith keyword, you can make him boogie. There's an enhancement to like adds 4 inches to movement or something.
Oh, the Doctor Octopus enhancement. Yeah, that shit's dope.
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that would have been so cool. Because then he would have moved like what, like 20 inches?
Then he might have been cool.
Yeah,
18.
he's not. Look, he's not great, but he is reliably epic challenged characters that were multiplying the enemy's forces, and then made it so
Speaking
that
of-
the day could be won. Right? That's kind of value. That's kind of good.
Yeah, speaking of in the past bad characters, but Cypher looks kind of okay now with his little Jim
Well,
Jam.
So with all, I think any lone op character, given how these the new missions are, it's like survive in this building for an entire turn. Like there's more than one action you have to do now, and then survive.
Yeah.
So lone op characters like him, pretty useful again. Like you put him in the middle of the board, he's hiding in a building, he does an action, you can't dig him out. Pretty cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, well, that's what I was talking about with the Watchmaster with that Vect, right? Now, a reasonably tank. I don't think Cypher's as good in that aspect, but yeah, just you hide him in a building up close, and like anybody who wants to do anything within 12 inches, that'll be an extra CP, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. He's a
know.
problem. He's up to no good.
I don't know how much his points are these days, but
I want to say sub 100, right?
yeah, I mean, he used to be, but I don't. We don't actually know.
Oh.
I have not run him yet.
Kind of surprising. A guy like you not running Cypher.
It do you know why it is? Because I don't have him painted.
Oh, good for you. I appreciate that. I actually, well, I did play a game yesterday. It was the first game in a long while where all my models weren't painted, and I felt like a dirty
Oh.
person.
Little nasty bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not like you.
Yeah. Well, only because, well, you guys know Biggie. He preferred that over like any of the house rule stuff I've been doing. So, and you know, I'll take the opportunity to test out the Phoenix Force, and so I didn't mind. And he was cool with like not having stuff painted because he just kind of wants to try out the new book, the new sister stuff.
Yeah.
They seem.
They seem incredibly good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's funny they brought the flame ones because you were bringing light troopers. So when I played him, I played him last week, and he showed up, and I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, gets his list. So he's like, I'm running the same thing as last time, pretty much, and okay. I'm like, well, I'm running not the same thing. He's like, oh. He's like, oh. Now I don't know what I want to do with reserves. I just assumed you were going to do the same thing, and he like caught him off guard.
You caught him list tailoring a
a
little bit.
little list tailing.
How embarrassing. Oh,
Give the old man a break, okay?
No breaks.
No breaks for old men. Yeah, I'm just shocked he didn't go Unga Bunga, all Repentia.
He might not have enough painted.
Well,
Wait, isn't it
he might-
all
he-
commissioned?
Yeah, he might not have enough
Oh, true.
purchased to be painted.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, for a whole list of just those things, but he could still have a list that's heavy into Repentia. I'm sure.
It's true.
He's got a bunch of those engines, those whatever they're called, paint engines. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Mortificators, mortifiers.
Triple with Cultist and Prayer will be 1995. Triple Vindicator set comes to 1990. List planned up, and Havocs are fine. They're a little expensive, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's all personal preference. I wouldn't run a knight. I would take that 500 points and put it elsewhere.
Yeah, I find knights are only
But if you
good in their.
But if you want to buy a cool looking knight and use it, by all means, they look really cool. But they're just like, what's gonna happen is you're gonna set your models up on the table, and they're gonna kill the knight first, and then you lost 500 points. They don't last very long.
Yeah.
They're not really tough enough for their points, but they look super cool.
You know what else looks super cool?
Lord Discordant.
Indeed, you are correct.
This guy.
I'm an instigator.
You're a hater. He's just hating. Because he only bought and played a Disco Lord while it was the most competitively potent thing in 9th edition. Now it's just cast aside.
Yeah, I don't want to play with you anymore.
It was so rude in 9th edition. My God, the way you could tool up the Disco Lords. Jesus.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the way I remember it.
Oh
Don't listen to this guy. He's a liar.
Yeah.
For the longest time, like Chaos Space Marines, like for basically all of 8th edition, they're trash, and then in 9th edition, they got a huge power spike. And like watching the way you've played the game perfectly encapsulates how power corrupts people. It like perfectly maps. It perfectly maps onto like how you play the game.
I don't know what you're
crazy.
talking about.
Such a fluffy player, just playing playing these friendly
deny.
units, and then
Deny.
oh, I have the combi weapon because they're cool. I remember that guy.
Yeah.
I've
That guy
always
used to
liked
be
lightning
cool.
claws.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
he
he did go through like a a bit of a rough period where he had a 10-man Terminator unit with all lightning claws. I distinctly
was
remember
cool.
that caused you. I don't remember if it was a loss per se, but it basically made, like, you and I were playing, and it basically made that unit like kill a model. Like, it didn't do anything, and it's such a huge point sink. When you tried running it against my Grey Knights.
No, that was plasma. I tried running them all with plasma.
Oh, was it that? I thought you had
Yeah,
all
it was
lightning claws.
all. No, I did have a squad with lightning claws, but I remember that Grey Knights game. I tried running like this huge investment in paying for plasma, and then they were getting like 2 shots and overcharging, and I've already just like killed myself over and over and over again.
No,
Oh, it was big sad. I had this brilliant plan in my brain, and
just didn't work.
well, they've taken out some fluff opportunities. It's not my fault. So with these free warrior, don't blame me.
Yeah,
That's a fairly valid defense. Okay, I'll give you that.
I think honestly, like I think now is more. The fluff is probably more in the detachment you choose.
I think so.
Oh, you're running the bad detachment.
Yeah. There's one detachment I really want to run in Tyranids, but I'm not capable of running it because the models are always out of goddamn stock.
That just seems so weird because you have so many models.
Well, I need to buy even more of them. That's the kind of sad part about it, but like I'm willing to. I really like the assimilation swarm. It's all the guys with like big mouths, like they just eat shit. And the list requires Haruspecs, which I actually do have 3 now. I bought a bunch of them because I wanted to. I owned 1 in 1. I owned 1 Haruspecs, 1 Exocrine, and they're the same kit, and I magnetized 1 of them, but I worked a little bit overtime and it burned a hole in my pocket, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just buy 4 kits and then I'll make 1 extra Exocrine and then 3 Haruspexes. But the list requires it's actually kind of expensive because it requires pyrovores. Pyrovores are part of the assimilation swarm, or not a part of it, but like they benefit from it because they're the unit that they're like a little beetle thing with like a heavy flamer on there. They're so cheap for a unit of 3, and they're quite tough, and they have a lot of wounds. And Assimilation Swarm allows you to put a model back into the unit. So you have like recursion to it, and it also has a lot of CP-related abilities that give you like a good feel no pain, and an even better feel no pain when on an objective. And so because this new mission pack really, the secondaries are not as good anymore. Like they're good, but like they don't give as many points, right?
Yeah.
So now you're really looking for primary. Primary is like now the real go-to. I'm like trying to think of ways I can have like sticky units or like tough units plant their butt onto an objective and just sit there. Take a couple of hits, maybe die, maybe not. And if they do die, or if they lose like 1 or 2 models, I can recursion them. But the assimilation swarm just requires so many of these very specific models. Haruspex is one of them. Pyrovore is the one that you kind of want a couple of units of. Tyrant Guard are really popular. Tyrant Guard going with like either a Neuro Tyrant. Not anymore. I'd probably stick them with the Zoanthropes. But like a walking Hive Tyrant with Tyrant Guard, especially now with Swarm Lord, a big unit of 6 Tyrant Guard. They're toughness 8, and I want to say 3 wounds, but might be 4. Trying to chew through all of that, on top of the feel no pain that you can potentially give from the detachment, from like the stratagems, and also adding a model back even after it dies. That's like a really like sticky unit to get rid of, like just in the middle of the board, right?
Yeah, it sounds reliable. Very cool.
But anyway, for that list, I wanted some Maleceptors. I wanted like one or two, because they what is it that they give? They make it harder to wound in combat, but they're a 4-up invul monster. So just adding to that tough factor, and I wanted to lean further away from, just always bringing exocrines because they're literally the only thing that can carry like the shooting phase. Like the amount of times I've run the Tyrannofex and wanted to run the Tyrannofex, and he just, even with the changes to his gun, still just shits the bed every time. Every time I shoot that fucking rupture cannon, I do not put down something that I require dead.
Yeah,
And
because there's no rerolls, right? It's a
no
problem with
rerolls.
the core game, like the core attack sequence. It's just so it favors volume, and exocrine's better.
Extra green is better. Standing still gives them +1 to hit, but people can
You still
get
roll a one, man.
I can still roll a
Yeah,
one.
you have 5
And
turns to shoot. Maybe you don't shoot what you want to be shooting at the first turn, so we really got like 4 turns to shoot. Maybe 3 because you're probably dead in the last round, right? So then you have 3 times to shoot, and each time you shoot, you're gonna probably miss 1. Kind of sucks.
And then it's the AP. It's always the AP. Hey, Dunzilla, welcome. Yeah, the AP with the terrain and the me not ignoring cover, which could be supplemented by a Pyrovore, but Pyrovore needs to hit something, and they only have a 12-inch range gun, and they move only, I want to say 7, maybe 6. So it's not, it's not like just readily available ignores cover. They're just not worth it. Exocrine's AP3, 3 flat damage, D6 plus 3 attacks, has blast, decently tough.
Yeah, as soon as the enemy has an invulnerable save, also you're looking at the rupture cannon, you're still disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at your 8 last cannons and I was disappointed. So.
Oh yeah, well, the Spartan's a special case.
Yeah. Army, you wanna hear like the poetic? We had to take it back because
yeah, I screwed up something with the.
You advanced.
Yeah, I advanced and I couldn't shoot, but
anyway, but he shot. I was almost gonna just tell you, what, leave the 1 damage. But anyway, he shot the Spartan at my Moloch. Moloch has like 16 wounds. I'm like, oh, he shoots all 8 last cannons. He gets 1 wound through out of all 8. I think you rolled 6 1s and 2s, and then you rolled another 1 out of the wound pile and got 1 through, and then you rolled 1 single damage out of the D6.
It turns out 8 last cannons is insufficient, honestly.
It's so fucking bad.
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
get better. You disappoint me.
Get better.
Yeah.
Skill issue.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh man. But yeah, like rupture cannon and also he's the most fucking expensive thing next to. Well, actually, no, he's the same points as the emissary. No, he's not.
Mr.
What is
Ambassador?
What is the ambassador now? I don't even remember. But yeah, like you could just take the Norn instead, honestly. And I don't even really.
What a coincidence! What a coincidence! Just take the newer product.
Yeah. I don't even want to take him either. However, I do want to run Pressure Stampede with like 3 of them, because now that they can go through fucking walls, that's a real scary thing. And it's sad too because it's Synapse, so it gets the +1 strength on its weapons. The actual dedicated melee one, which by the way is more points than the one with the last cannon psychic abilities, and okay melee and an invulnerable save,
yeah,
and an invulnerable save. It's cheaper now, semi stronger. I'd still say the extra toxic injector punch fists are still okay, but like its regular claws are the same. Well, not the same, because the emissaries is better because they get +1 strength because it's a Synapse. It's so stupid.
Oh
But
my
in Crusher Stampede, I like the idea of running like 3 of them, and like every turn one of them is Kool-Aid Manning through a wall.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's fun for
All
the
these,
memes, and it's probably pretty potent.
Oh,
all these words.
Crusher was just so laughable for
Oh, it
like the
was
one.
the big turd in that big stinker in that book. It was so
Yeah.
obvious. It was so like apparent. Like, oh my god, what did you do? It's like little to no value here.
You pay for your sins of last edition.
It doesn't even do what
You
it did last edition. They could they could have named it anything.
yeah.
Uh,
They like the buzzword, right? Like they like these like little buzzwords from like past things, like some of like the psychic powers being called like the old like fucking busted ones from Angels of Death. Like they're like, this is a little blast from the past. I hope the kids out there really like this. But then it does nothing, or it's like a pale comparison of it. And Crusher was brutal, but like, was it better or worse than Leviathan? Like Leviathan did, because most people found that pretty abysmal, right? Like
Yeah, it was bad.
transhuman on every model, or like
You know
most
who used to
models.
run that? Piper.
listen. Yes,
Filthy
I did
metaphor.
some competitive playing in air quotes, competitive for my standards, right? For that event we had. But that was it. It was I was just a competitive tourist, all right? I'm back on my wholesome, thematic, casual play.
Yeah,
Back on the loser train.
I wish I got to play Little Brother. I got to play Other Brother with
He
both.
forfeited before he even got to me.
Yeah, Little Brother didn't get a chance to like Middle Brother, playing Necrons. He killed one Pioneer, one bike, and I tabled him. I killed.
Oh yeah, speaking of filthy meta whores.
Oh my god, that was actually the funniest shit ever. Like that book, if it was released, and I'm playing nerfed Votan afterwards, but still, if that book did not receive all those points nerfs, that book would have been a menace. Like you would have to tell people, no, I'm not playing that. No, we're not having any of that. That fucking that was so bad.
It might have been the first army to get like 9th edition banned from like tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Or from life, just like people like, nah, I'm not.
No, because like just the fact of the matter was like shooting at something behind his Silent King and then killing the thing behind Silent King and a thing in front of Silent King and one other thing in front of Silent King with a fucking laser gun was just ridiculous. Like it was so fucking ridiculous.
Look, it's a cool idea, right? But
Yeah.
maybe it just needs to be fine-tuned.
Yeah, it's a cool idea to give one army all the strongest rules in the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm speaking specifically to the way they handled beams. I think that is genuinely interesting, right? It makes the game. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like when weapons aren't just stat profiles, right? Like different weapon. Imagine a game system, if you will, right? Where different weapons have different function in how they like interact with other models. Like that's way better than just different stat profiles, right?
Well,
But
funny story. The guy who,
right?
the casual player who came and played Mr. Mellon with that army has never played Warhammer again.
Oh,
He ran him out of the hobby.
He ran him out of the hobby.
yeah.
He beat him so badly he never played again.
It wasn't my fault. He deployed poorly, and also I had a
I don't
broken
actually
army.
know. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's the narrative
Probably.
I'm going with.
Probably not, but also it's funny if
It's better for the memes, so let's embrace
they just
it.
they had everything. They had a psychic power that was so easy to cast that gave you a fucking command point.
Oh, dude, every point of comparison, it was like, oh, Votan's better, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
almost every, right? I'll leave some room for some exceptions, right?
Even after they were nerfed, they gave me fits.
Oh, because
Yeah, but
it's just layering
you
of
beat me
rules,
twice.
Yes, with the list I'd played like 30 times and had all dialed in. I did.
And WTC terrain or whatever we were playing.
I don't know. Yeah, Games Workshop probably.
Or Games Workshop, whatever is now
It
the
was
like.
it was a terrain template type
The-
thing. Yes.
The levels of like gross with regards to the lists of like your Black Legion list army from 9th edition and the
Yeah.
Votan
Oh,
list,
yeah.
both like a different kind of realm of gross. I feel.
That was probably like even to this day my best list. Like I don't think I've come up with anything that tops that.
Well, it's just so
Uh,
effective and disgusting.
yeah.
Like I wish I was going to tournaments at that time. I think I
I think so.
could have done some work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of pretty like brutal lists out of our play group at that time. Like,
Oh yeah, well, because someone
oh.
put on a disgusting event, and then
Yeah.
like gaslit everyone into thinking they have to go hard or you're never coming back, right?
That's your
Basically, you're banned if you
That
don't
was your-
win.
that was your boy.
Oh my God.
Correct. That is
Yeah.
true. That is true.
he really just like put the like boots to me constantly. He's like, you cannot lose.
Oh yeah.
You're not allowed
He's
to
like-
lose. I'm
He's
like,
like
okay.
disappointing dad over there. Like
Yeah, but I won the whole fucking thing.
I know, but he was like so much pressure. It was like
Yeah.
you guys can't let
Because
me down in front of my other friends.
Originally, I wasn't gonna bring Votan. I was gonna bring Tyranids. I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll just bring Tyranids. But then I backed off on that because Kyle, you were working on your
Gengar. Yeah, Gengar.
yeah
fun.
Gengar, and little brother also played Nid. So you know what? I was like, maybe I'll play like Grey Knights or something, or bring GSC.
Yeah, you didn't want to
when
have
I was-
three.
No,
reflection.
I said I would bring Nids, but then everybody else was kind of bringing it, so I'm like, I don't mind backing up. And then I got the deal on like the Votan stuff, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just bring Votan. I'm like, oh, it'll be a surprise. Everybody will be
Fuck it.
shocked when they see Votan.
I'll just steamroll everyone.
Yep,
Zero fucks.
it's fun. Bigglers,
not-
Bigglers was like just a testament to like sometimes the dice just go someone's way, because I had a single character run through the entire backfield of his, like a single. It was Titan.
Yeah, but didn't that guy ignore? You got no saves or some shit? Like what? He did something gross.
he made the Dark Star Axe made it so you could not take saves. He had like that.
Yeah, because that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple units that were
You're a
having
bad
that.
person. You're a bad
Yeah.
person.
Well, look, the rules were, or the instructions were, to not lose, right? So that's what happens. Everyone starts building lists.
Yeah,
and
I followed the rules. You didn't, because you lost.
I'm just more of a thematic fun type of guy.
Okay, get out of here.
Okay,
The audacity.
dude. Okay, dude. Yeah.
I'm not like hyper competitive like you.
How,
I'm just out here to
how
have
dare you?
out here to have a good time with my cool models. You know what? That event was probably the beginning and the end for me.
Yeah, never again will I play Fluffy. I'm going hard and
Never
only hard.
again will I use
I'm gonna-
suboptimal units.
I'm gonna put all of my ADHD brain into learning the ins and outs of 40k. I'm gonna be the best
It definitely created an attitude.
monster.
Well, yes, in Army's particular case. I don't know. It's
Listen.
I think if you got someone like me coming out and playing reps, like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
right?
that was
that's
wild.
that's a
Like,
marker of like the event changing the culture of the group. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we were practicing hard. We
Can't-
didn't want to disappoint Dad.
can't let down Daddy Ohms, and also had to beat Little Brother. Little Brother had to be defeated.
Yeah.
Too cocky for
Yeah.
his own good.
And
Oh, yeah, he got-
and that
And he
Game to
got
pass.
stomped.
Did it twice.
Oh yeah, he lost all his games.
And then he went home. Well, he didn't
Yeah.
want to play his last one, so I guess that's a loss by default.
Yeah, he lost
right?
That
all
is
his
a loss?
games, forfeited, and then went home.
Yeah, that's a loss, man, in my book.
See ya.
Yeah, that's what happens when you only play your siblings and think, oh, I beat my siblings all the time, so therefore I am number one. Not in my house.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring like fun little GSC or some Grey Knights.
Look, everybody's innocent.
Some meaningless, insignificant Grey Knights, and I was told I cannot lose. If I lose, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, I guess I feel kind of silly like explaining the context now. But basically, chat for context for chat. Our buddy Ohms in our play group has a side group basically, and he organized an event where he organized an event where both groups were coming together at mini wargaming, and he basically the little brother in that one play group on his side group was talking mad shit. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat all your boys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go undefeated that weekend." And our buddy Ohms was like, "No, listen, you don't even know. These guys are like better than me, and you're not better than me." And so he's like, "Nah," I go, "Nah, I'm gonna beat all your buddies. Just you watch. I'll be undefeated that weekend." And then that set something off in Ohms, which in turn set something off in us, because every opportunity he's like, "You guys can't lose. None of us can lose." Because now his word's on the line and all that shit. It was a whole arc in our little gaming group.
I don't think
Sometimes.
anybody lost. I don't think anyone from our gaming group lost to their gaming group.
You are correct. Yes. So, in that sense, it was a good weekend. But looking back, it feels kind of bad, man. You got these guys.
Oh yeah.
Well,
big
once
time.
we were all there, it was already like the writing was on the wall, right? Everyone's rolling up, and then it was kind of clear. Like the other guys were like, "Oh yeah, so I haven't really played too much this edition." You have like a lot of that talk, and it's like, "Oh, this was all for nothing." All this trading was for nothing. We should have done zero trading, just had a casual time, right?
I should have just brought GSC.
Yeah, honestly.
we should have brought narrative lists.
Yeah, because I kind of want when we did the first, or when we did your narrative one for mini wargaming, that's when I bought GSC and I was like, okay, I'll do, because it was 1,000 points. I'm like, oh, no big deal. I can make and paint 1,000 points before the mini wargaming. It was good. You and me, Army, we played a couple of practice games, and it felt really good. And I liked them. They did the Crossfire thing. It was really fun. I loved Crossfire. I love the blips. It was a good time. I should have, and I bulked out that army too before that event. Like I bought a bunch of tanks and some more like pure strain gene stealers, and yeah, I probably should have just brought that. Probably would have been more.
Oh yeah, in hindsight, we
sensible.
should have brought our softest shit, or regular stuff.
You should have had
That-
no practice.
That
Yeah.
narrative one was funny too, because Bigler was just getting so upset by dirt bikes killing his like fucking Blade Terminators or whatever, like the fucking Blightlord Terminator.
Dude, there's like some psychological warfare appeal to that, for real.
Yeah, when it's just a bunch of goons like riding up on you.
Oh, you think your Adeptus Custodes are so cool?
Yeah. Or I think I played oh my god, Tavish, and he's like playing Dark Angels, and he's got a land speeder like on the line, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can make that charge with 10 Gene Stealers. Sure enough, I slam it like it's right up the line, because they had that the old book you could take a blip, flip it over, and move them 8 inches before the game started. So then they were already 8 inches off the table. They could advance the charge. And I wrapped that land speeder and just sat in his deployment zone with a bunch of Gene Stealers, and then let all the bikes move up. And every time you would try and shoot at like a critical one, they became like blown up, unless they were the nearest, because those gene stealers were locked in with that land speeder. Like, it's a vicious cycle. Like, it was like just like a stupid little play that I picked up from playing Army. That I'm just like, this is what I'm doing. Like, you either have to dig them out, you got to dig your whatever, your vehicle or your transport or your infantry out of this 10-man gene stealer pile that would like lock them in place, and then you could shoot. Like, then you could shoot me. But if you don't, then a whole bunch of rock grinders just drive on up and ram their rock grinder prow or plow front into the model. It was just fun. They were really fun.
Taught him everything he knows.
I'm
Hey,
very
is that
disappointed. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
You did. No, I was gonna say, yeah. Guy smokes me like I think you had like 80 to my like 10, and then we double it back and we flip it back.
I was
It was good
gonna
practice.
check with you guys because that mechanic you described, you can't shoot this unless it's the closest. That was quite a popular thing
Oh,
you'd see on
yeah.
a lot of books, but that's absent from 10th, right? It's just gone completely.
It's just- it was
no,
load op.
there's a lone op strat. Yeah.
But unless I'm misremembering, like, so correct me if that's the case. But wasn't the mechanic we're referring to like restricting you from shooting everything else unless it's the closest? But you tie that unit up, and then they couldn't fall back, thereby turning off all their shooting. Isn't that how that worked? Or am I making that up?
It is. It's not the same as Lone Op, but it's in that like similar vein. But
Lone Op
no,
is way more tasteful, for sure, right? You're not turning off like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like before you could like you didn't attach characters, right? So you could only shoot them if they're the closest.
Yeah, but what we're talking about is like those stratagems, like the cloud of flies and stuff like that, where like you could make a unit like that and then manipulate models in front, and they
Yeah, it
became
was-
like
That's gone.
Character.
It feels like that's
That-
been gone with 9th.
that part is
There's a lone op strat now. You can like make a unit lone op.
Yeah, that's
Like
different.
like
Right.
you had the
As close as it
Nurgle.
gets.
Well, yeah, same but different. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason being is it was always the nearest, and so you could manipulate it to be even worse than Lone Op, because you.
Well, yeah, because you were the worst. You'd run 60 gene stealers and wrap something that couldn't kill them, and then you'd be like, haha, they're the closest. You can't shoot anything else.
Now you
Loser.
understand. Now you remember. Okay, good. I was like, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like totally like it's using the similar mechanisms, but that one restriction.
He was
that's
just a
missing.
terrible person.
Someone's been bad touched.
He learned it from me.
No, like that strategy, like that strategy and tactic was very good, but like once you learned that it existed,
You could
Yeah.
prevent it
and
with
like
your setup.
it was less good. But like if it was the ever the first time you were going against it, it was just game losing,
Yeah.
and you're like, shit. Well, next time.
yeah. I'm just stuck out here.
Yeah.
This is my life now.
Pyro's talking about if he was here when we have talked about the like quote unquote rumor of like Death Watch, Imperial Agents, maybe Grey Knights, getting into like an Imperial Agents book. I will say that with this like kind of rumor or thought process, it might actually give like Death Watch a little bit of like a lease on life. Not to say that you
Temporarily.
well, temporarily, but like you've been making them work through. Well, then it's not really Death Watch; it's just colored
No.
Death Watch, right?
Yes.
So like, and I'll agree with you. Like you playing the Death Watch detachment is like hard mode versus any other. You could pick any other detachment, and it's
You hear that, Kiefer?
Mhm. No, I agree with this.
I was
Death Watch-
playing
Yeah.
like vanilla Space Marines. Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing Vanguard lately, right? Or before the Chaos stuff.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, because it.
So that
You're
being said, if I
playing-
switch back right now, I would probably either try Black Spear, like their actual detachment, or I would try Gladius, but like use multiple actual Death Watch units. I
At
would
least
try
you,
Watchmasters and Veterans and stuff.
At least you're using
That'd be
the
fun.
units, you know. That's redeemable.
Yeah, because I feel like a Watchmaster and like, well, I mean, so especially now with like the battle line stuff, but like even a small unit, but maybe a big unit of assault intercessors with the
Yeah.
Watchmaster is actually quite
Um,
potent, wouldn't it?
I don't know if he can attach to assault intercessors
Oh, that's terrible.
because he's a firstborn. He. Hang on,
That's the reason. Yeah. Well, that makes sense, right? Okay.
Where's? Hang on.
Kills
So-
me. The Watchmaster can't. It's like how my Gravis captain, my chapter master, can't join. You can't play him as a captain, first of all. So, sorry, I can't play him as a chapter master. I have to play him as a captain, which is lame. And then even when I play him as a Gravis captain, he can't join a command squad. It's so stupid. So stupid.
Yeah.
There's too many weird choices in Space Marines that like make me not enjoy playing like my successor chapter.
I don't know where my Death
Um,
Watch. I don't know where my Death Watch index is.
Uh-oh.
It's been collecting dust somewhere.
Uh-oh. Pyro's asking if, because the rumor is also like considering demons getting split and going into respective books, like the AOS style. You and I have actually spoken about this before.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
specifically?
you want the best. Honestly, like to recap that, I think it's a good idea, but you want the best of both worlds. You don't want to punish the player who's been playing the Demon Alliance, right? I think you want to have a Demons book, but probably allow the God-marked legions to use the units.
In a perfect world for me, I think demons are the perfect chance to be supplementary for that. But I do think that demons should go into their respective like legion books to like make it so that those books are fleshed out a little more.
That helps
Because-
them.
I mean,
I
think those
agree.
do well, instead of allies, they could do what they do now. Like you take Corn Berserkers.
That's
or,
kind of where my head's at.
yeah.
I think then you satisfy both, right? The World Leaders book now has units that Dumbo can lead on his stupid horse, and then the demon players are still able to, if you were, oh, I love Chaos Demons and Bellacor's the best and Hail the King and all that shit, you can play Be'lakor and have all your demon alliances work together. Because that does feel bad. Even like I don't like it, but I hate when the hobby like changes and then it punishes people who've invested. It's so bad to me.
I agree, but the problem with demons has always been that they're this conglomerate of things that in the past came from chaos, like Chaos Space Marines. Like again, I echo 3.5 as the greatest Chaos Space Marine book ever. They had demons within the book. You literally bought lesser demons, greater demons as units.
I agree.
So having them go back to something like that would be, I don't know. It would, like I said, be helpful to those specific Legion books that are missing tons of stuff. Like Zinch, just having, I mean, most Thousand Suns armies run a fucking Zinch detachment. Like it's not out of the fucking question, right? Like they still run things like Blue Scribes or the Changeling or a couple of Pink Horrors because they're cheaper than rubrics and they all have an invul and they can kind of be sticky and hold the backfield. Like it's not out of the question for things like that to go down.
I wouldn't.
And things things like Be'lakor, which I agree, or like you want to do like the All Four Gods, like conglomerate, maybe without Be'lakor, they would be perfectly good in like a supplemental thing, right? Like a Legions of Be'lakor or like demonic legions.
Yeah, you can whichever way you want to divide the books and make someone have access to someone else's. Like it's at the end of the day, it's a wash, right? Like it's the same difference. I just wouldn't want one at the cost of. I wouldn't want the status quo or something different at the cost of the status quo. I'd want like facilitate everybody, right?
I think 40K has gotten a little too big for its britches on the amount of like armies. Was there like 25?
Yeah.
That how many there are?
There's a lot.
Not include,
but-
not including like all the Space Marine legions, which is also fucking stupid. But honestly, just breaking them down and like boxing them into their like respective god slash Chaos Space Marine counterpart, and then still leaving the opening of allies. Like if you want to play, I don't know, word bearers and have a couple of demon units running around, that's perfectly fine. And if you want to fill in the void with just all demons and maybe a couple of chaos knights, or god forbid they ever do traitor guard or some shit like that, like it I think it'd be good.
Isn't that one of the rumors out there?
Something like that, yeah. It's
Okay.
I'm
still like traitor guard and evil admech, what are they called?
Dark Mechanicum.
Dark Mechanicum.
Dark Mechanicum.
Evil Admech is better.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, like they're still out there. Yeah, I mean, there's always like a chaos anagram to like an imperial side. Like eventually, we're gonna get chaos nuns, like chaos sisters of battle, maybe chaos
no.
custodes, like
I
fucking.
hope not. It's just so.
Maybe
It's a
Fabius
bridge too
Bile
far.
cracks the code and starts giving
It's, like,
chaos.
it's the real bottom of the barrel stuff. I'd honestly rather have Sanguinius come back than have that. I hate that.
I'd rather have headless. I'd rather have headless Ferrus Manus come back
Yeah.
than literally
Chaos
Fabius
Custodes.
Bile
Oh god,
makes custodes.
they're so desperate.
Why shouldn't he?
Yeah, fucking Bilbo over there just holding on to the gene seed. He's like, why shouldn't I make the Emperor's perfect chosen?
He made Horus.
Yeah, and what happened to him?
Well, he tried his best.
No, he got beaten by Abaddon.
Yeah, he goes
He
ass
got
whooped.
stomped.
That's like if
proof.
that's
That's
like
proof,
if your
dude.
son beats you up, right? Like if that's like if your child's
Yeah.
son beats you, the adult, up.
Yeah,
Like it's
that's
fucking demeaning.
that's a perfect analogy and is demonstrative of how it's a bad idea. It's obviously not real Horus. He's like lacking the special sauce if Abaddon can beat him, okay?
Yeah, for sure. The special sauce.
He is, obviously. Dude, the book was written to make Abaddon look cool so that they have him fight his dad, okay?
Abaddon was cool as shit before.
He was pretty cool. I've read all recently actually. I've read all of the like Horus Rising book series, whatever. And Abaddon's pretty cool. He gets a little bitchy and whiny by the third book, but you know what?
He was sweet in Siege too.
He was sweet in Siege. He did fuck up real bad
I'll
though.
take your word for it.
I mean, we all knew about how bad he fucked up, but he did
Can't
go out
trust
killing everybody.
Kiefer when it comes to books. He can't read.
I'll have you know that I read my books, unlike you.
Yeah, we listened to
I
her.
need someone to listen and read me my book.
Listen, some of us have to drive an hour
Yeah.
every day to work.
Yeah, some of us.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. I appreciate a good audiobook. It's what we call ribbon.
Fine. You know what? When I drive to work, I'm gonna read my book, and then when
No, no.
when I
And then when I die, it's all your fault.
yeah, you're gonna be
Oh,
like,
God.
"Wow, I did this."
No, don't do it.
Don't put that bad juju on me, Ricky
Put
Bobby.
in your will. Tell Kiefer to go fuck himself.
Yeah, tell him I'll see him in fucking hell.
I'll say it on your tombstone.
Yeah. Fuck you, Kuiper. My
God.
Because I was
this.
forced
All
to
of-
read a book while driving.
Have it do it. Have it say it in an audiobook just to spite him.
Please use my last bit of money to try and get someone like Dan Abnett or someone to read that out in my eulogy. And here lies Slice Melon. And I quote, "Fuck you, Kiefer."
He guilted me into reading while driving. It'll be like
You-
we'll create an organization like Mothers
Yeah.
Against Drunk Driving, but for gamers against like,
Piper.
reading while driving.
Reading while driving.
Can't believe he's done this. Well, I've got all of 5 of these 10 gaunts done. They're a little bit more. They're a little bit more to them than the old ones.
Oh, they look awesome.
They do look awesome. They're really dynamic too.
Yeah, they killed it
BRB,
on
grabbing
the
a drink.
sculpts.
Yep. I got the new Gene Stealers too. Like I fucking needed more, but I like the new sculpts. That it's like to the point where I'm okay with buying. Like every now and then, I'll just like every paycheck, I'll just go buy. I'll buy like a box of them or order a box, and it's like not that big a deal. But the Gene Stealers are really really nice.
Nice. They need
They have well, they have enough heads to make all the like Yumgarl ones, the tentacle faced
cool.
ones, which used to be like hot
special
commodity
yeah,
out of the box.
special war gear upgrade.
And
Yeah, some of
they're
those old
dynamic.
poses were very like double dribble, you know, very basketball.
Yeah,
Little-
the
little
nicest
fun.
part about the new Hormagaunts is they always stand up. The way that they're
Dude,
like
that
like
deserves an
cent-
award, actually.
yeah, like the way they're centrifugally posed, where like they're most of their weight is in their tail, and like the rest of their body is like really well positioned. They don't fall over. It's very nice.
Yeah, that's a win. That is most impressive.
After we played, like I really like that big 20-man unit, so I'll probably keep running that.
What,
Just as,
Hormagaunts?
yeah, I
Yeah.
just like I like how mobile they are. I like how like I mean you got to put a decent amount of shots into them, even with like blast. Like you putting like 2 fucking forge fiends into them, like still didn't kill them all. Like there's a chance that they live, and with synapse and stuff, you can make them pass the test, and they just fuck off and do whatever.
I have returned.
Welcome
Okay.
back. Was your quest successful?
I
Did you get your
have.
drink?
I have found my drink.
I was reading a couple things on like some Tyranid groups.
Oh,
The
you just didn't have audiobook read it to you?
I don't think audiobook wants to read anything from like Reddit or forum pages. There'd be a lot of curse words. With the Biovore, because the OC0
Oh,
changed.
no, we're back to bugs. Going to get another drink.
Well, me and Kiefer play the bugs, so I have someone to talk to about it.
Exactly.
With
He's,
the Biovore
Sorry, chat.
and the OC0 can't do actions, this still has some use for table quarter stuff, because OC0 doesn't matter for being in the quarter. Is that right?
Or like behind enemy lines, I guess, as well.
Or behind enemy lines.
Yeah, those type of area. You must be in this zone or this table quarter or corner. It would still, yeah, I guess it would still work for all that stuff.
For 50 points of what they are, and something that can just hold my like back corner, it's actually not bad. I will still continue to bring one.
Nice.
Well,
at least.
I own 6 of the old metal ones that are clutching onto their testicles, but I bought one of the new big ones, and that is probably the only one I will purchase. I'll buy more, but just turn them into pyrovores.
Yeah,
Sick kid.
until they develop a way to make the dream real. Unless it's a crusade only thing. I don't know.
I don't know what this unit is you speak of, but could you not magnetize them, or is that not a thing with this type?
You can 100% magnetize them. I don't like how they look, so I remodeled mine and green stuff kind of changed it. So the Pyrovore and the Biovore are the same kit. The Pyrovore has kind of a similar looking gun, but it shoots fire, like it shoots a flamer, and it looks like a beetle. The Biovore kind of has pretty much the identical gun, just a few like flares in the back. But they're both pointed the same direction, straight forward. They both have the same beetle-like appearance, and I don't like it because like the Biovore is an artillery. It's an artillery gun. It can shoot indirectly. It makes the little spore mines that float around, and the other one is more of a front line. So anyway, what I did was I took off the two front arms of the Biovore and replaced them with hands from the Lictor, because the new Lictor kit comes with like a ton of extra hand bits, like claws, and I just like wanted to like imagine it like it's like grabbing like rocks and debris and eating it, and then making it into a spore mine, right? Like any biomass is just scarfing it into its mouth and eating it and turning it into a spore. And then the gun, because it's pointed straight forward, looks stupid because it's an artillery piece. So I have it angled like up.
They used to be angled up. Yours is
Yeah,
better.
my old ones are all angled up. And so I wanted to angle it up, and so I had to like remodel, like, it's not a tail, but the gun is like another bug because it has legs, and the legs attached to the back of the Biovore, and it's pretty interesting. But anyway, I have the legs like modeled like so that it's aimed a little more up. Anyways, like the barest of minimum like conversion work.
But it
So,
makes it look more suitable. I, when they first showed that model, like for the exact same reason you're laying out here, I thought it was a new weapon option or a new variant, right? I thought it was like a direct fire, cannon or something.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh no, that's the spore mine launcher. Oh, pointing forward. Okay.
Yeah. I
think you made the right choice.
Yeah, Verado's kind of not a big fan of the beetle stuff. I don't mind them. Like, I think they're neat looking. I just don't like, for one, the two look identical.
I'm with Verado. Tyranids are stupid, and we shouldn't talk about them.
Oh my god! But if I talk about Deathwatch or Chaos Space Marines, like,
yeah, that's something interesting.
You have to talk about how cool Abaddon is. You really gotta feed him, okay?
Oh my god!
Just
Or
so
who's that? Who's that other fucking?
When they talk about bugs, all I hear is buggy bug bug.
Oh yeah,
right.
you'll never learn them.
I'll never attain.
Well, it's not polite to make fun of people with such disabilities, okay?
Here you go. You can't make fun of me. I'm disabled.
You heard it here.
Yeah, this is documented for the rest of time.
Yeah.
You got it.
Anybody, either the two of you, but anybody thinking about starting anything new, or we just all kind of like?
Oh, Age of Sigmar. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, you and me.
That's what Army likes to hear us talk about. Let's just.
Oh man.
Yeah, complaining about bugs. Let's just talk about a different gaming system. How about that?
Oh, buddy.
We can talk about Mordheim. We haven't talked about Mordheim today.
That is true.
No,
That is
yeah,
true.
our Mordheim quota hasn't been.
Yeah, the Mordheim quota. It's like the same conversation every time. Oh, Mordheim's so fucking good. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's true.
There we go. Our weekly Mordheim reference has been made.
Thank God.
Yeah. We gotta keep it alive, right?
I did see the points, Pyro. I looked at Flesh Eater Corpse, because that is the army I would like to play. I don't know. Oh, the nice thing is it puts base sizes on this list. I'm curious if they had a base size problem before.
Wild.
Or if they just changed them. For fun.
They might have.
They might have. You gotta double check.
Yeah, do you all remember, or do we all remember the mass 32 mil exodus of the orcs? We gave a couple of orc players in our group a lot of shit about that.
I remember like,
well, only because
like, not like a week after it happened, but like a long time after playing one of the fellas, and he jumped 30 boys into my face, and I'm like, bro, you need to move 15 of those back.
Yeah, I'll be fucking generous, okay? Like,
yeah, only because of the reach of rules that they were going after, right? Because it does suck. I get it, right? If you have a beautiful army that you like to put on the table every now and again, like, fuck that. Don't rebase your shit, right? But if you're reaching for pylons and all of this, oh yeah, fine, you could do snap rings too. But when you're playing with guys who are reaching for pile-ins, like, oh, now an extra rank of guys can fight. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
hold on a
Yeah.
minute, like this is crazy.
Pump
Yeah, no.
the brakes.
Yeah, Space Marines were never bad. Like, wow, I mean, most of you guys were playing when they kind of switched over to 32.
Right.
They used
I've
to
been
be.
playing forever.
Yeah, you have a Rhino that is not that big.
I have many rhinos in a whirlwind, in a vindicator,
They're
That
much
are
too
not that
small.
big.
in
Yeah.
a predator.
They're
One
for
of those things
They have stealth.
bit you. Yeah, one of those things bit you in the ass before.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so like under the old aesthetic, I liked running it, but now that I've kind of updated my Alpha Legion aesthetic, I don't actually like running the little models anymore.
Oh, that's fair. That is fair.
Almost rather run it with the Black Legion.
Yeah. Yeah, Pyro's right. Most of the like Sigmar combat patrol boxes are actually quite point heavy. They're not like a 500 point army anymore. They're a little bit more.
Really?
Do you mean the spearhead stuff? Is that what it?
Yeah,
is?
they're quite a chunk more of points.
Chunk more cashola too, I'd guess.
Oh, I saw a comparison online. No, just like the value in the Sigmar boxes versus the 40k boxes.
Oh,
And
really?
It was disgusting. Like what $100 gets you in Sigmar versus 40k.
Yeah, that's
It
rude.
was way better value.
Yeah. Yeah, so like me looking at the Flesh Eater Courts one, you get their knights. They're like bat guys riding like giant bats. You get a courtier, which is like a hero. You get a arc regent, which is another hero, and then 10 dudes. The 10 dudes are 70. The Morbeg knights are 70. The hero is 55, and the other hero is 55. So that's $280 for that box, and it's 175. So you get half. It's literally half off if you buy that box.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, if you were looking to buy these specific models, which in most of the core armies, from my understanding, with specifically Flesh Eater Courts, is you want all of those things.
Very cool. No, it's good. Sounds like they're doing it right. They're not putting Abaddon in a starter set or whatever. No, that was boarding action. Never mind. But still, it's so awkward. Typhus was in the combat patrol, though. Odd choice.
That is an odd fucking choice, isn't it? Like, I'm just gonna put this like
Epic
main
hero?
named
Yeah.
epic hero on my combat patrol, like my fucking like entry level.
Yeah, so two guys start the hobby, and then one guy has like this big cheese, and the other guy has an unnamed like Primaris librarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like maybe I'm sure. I mean, I would give benefit of the doubt, probably wrongly, but the models have different like abilities and all this kind of stuff, so they're allegedly more balanced in combat patrol, even though it seems like by 40k standards, like, oh, what the hell is that, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have custom secondary objectives. You have a whole bunch of stuff that could be used in theory to make it a fair and enjoyable time.
It's true. It's true.
Very.
Um,
Seems like a wasted effort to me. I wonder if anyone plays it.
It's too
for
bad.
Age of Sigmar, I
No,
I
not
think
Age of
it's
Sigmar,
It's
the
Combat
boarding
Patrol?
patrols.
oh
yeah.
Combat Patrol. I don't know. The Sigmar one is doing it a little better because they don't have the rules cut or changed, so you're just playing the army.
Just
Like,
different missions. Standard Age of Sigmar
Yeah.
rules, but just different missions for that size, right?
Yep. So it's like, you know, because when you and I were trying out the little combat patrol for the Leviathan box, the Termagants got their own unique rule. The Psychophage didn't do the same thing.
The Prime
The wing-
goes the same way, yeah. You're right.
The Wing Prime was different. So, and also like the kind of weird detachment rules for it, and like my shadows in the warp is completely different. Like it's all these kinds of things that just kind of don't. Well,
Well, then when
especially
you want to switch over to big boy 40K, you've got it doesn't
relearn.
translate.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
relearn it.
Dude.
So yeah, the spearhead stuff for Sigmar is being done much better.
Oh, that's good.
I refuse.
I would like to just I, I don't really want to buy the Slanesh Combat Patrol or sorry, Spearhead for Age of Sigmar. Is it possible to just play a smaller point game of Age of Sigmar, Melon? Can we do that
Yeah,
instead?
yeah, yeah.
So I could just bring the models I already own, just give the
Yeah, you
game
just
system
bring.
a whirl.
You have a model that's only in Sigmar now because they
Oh
took it
yeah.
away from 40k.
Oh, it was never in 40k. Or which model are you talking about?
The Sinessa or
Yeah, that model was never in 40k.
Oh,
Foolish as I was, I thought, oh, a new demon model. Surely, surely, if Belagor is like cross compatible, everyone would be. No, it is not.
oh well,
Idiot.
my
Yeah.
mistake. I
So
foolishly thought different.
that model has never. I've never played that model, but I really like it. I like the paint job I did and everything, but it's just. I don't
Oh,
know.
they do have different data sheets. Oh, I didn't know that. The way it was like being I didn't watch Warcom, like watch the thing or watch anything. I just
Did we
read
give them too much credit?
Yeah, maybe I did. I was just reading on some like external sites like an R competitive but for Age of Sigmar talking
If
about
you
it.
if you had done voice to text, you wouldn't have had that confusion.
I know, you know what? You're right. I just don't know how to read. Just don't. I just need I constantly need someone with some like sultry tones read everything to me. So then
I've heard
I can
I've
absorb
heard
that information.
your online dating profile said you're a wonderful listener.
I've been with the same person for 10 years.
Yeah, I found it on Plenty of Fish. It's quite old.
Oh, plenty of fish. Okay.
This guy's on
Uh,
plenty of fish. Jesus.
The OG dating site.
Yep.
That's where you'll find Melon. Look him up. His name
yeah.
is Sliced Melon on Plenty of Fish.
And then you'll find Army on Bumble.
Bzz. Ah, fuck.
Do I trust things on Reddit? No, I don't typically trust anything. It's just a common just reading.
That
No.
that big old leak from a while ago was a lot of those things hit on that.
Sure.
Remind
Yeah.
me, which leak was this?
The old 4chan leak.
Oh shit.
What specifics have come to pass?
Wow. Oh my god! Now you want.
I
want
feel
me to
like
answer
I
that?
feel like you're just saying something and you don't even have a
Well, I
fact
need
of
to
this
look at them. I need to look it up again to tell you which ones. I didn't know you were gonna make me back up.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
what
I'm
you're
just-
referencing.
you-
That's all.
Can't you
Okay?
let me Donald Trump over here? You know, really important people have said that it came true. Okay.
My
Okay.
WikiLeaks.
I would just like to know what we're referring to. That's all.
Which ones? The important ones.
The important ones.
From
Oh,
important
okay.
people.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Some people have said. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, very important people who know things.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Guy calls me out.
I just wanted to know what we're talking about. That's all.
I think it was rumored with the 4th edition, and then it was some of the stuff going away, and
Oh, like the Stormcast stuff going away? Like that sort of stuff?
yeah,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah.
I gotcha. Interesting.
I can't remember all the specifics because I have a terrible memory.
No, no worries.
And you're discriminating against me.
Oh yeah, you're disabled. I forgot.
Yes, my brain is disabled, and you're outing
Maybe
me on the internet.
maybe impaired is a better word.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, it's more fair to you.
Sometimes even voluntarily.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Uh,
I'm gonna hop off probably around 9:30.
That is actually what I would. Yeah, that's good. That is cool with me. I'm in a trim jail right now. Very fun. Living the dream.
I'm in it's the thing with these accursed cultists and with the dark communes. Like every time I look, I'm like, oh, there's a little detail I missed. Oh, there's a little
Dude.
detail I missed.
The goobery cultists have too many details for their own good.
Oh yeah. So I was pretty confident I would get them done this session. Nope.
Oh, it's a two-parter.
Oh well, no. I mean, this is like a 5-parter. They were already tabletop. I'm just trying to get them a little better.
Camera
also
worthy.
decided
I gotcha.
Yeah, a little more my standard, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, that's admirable. Good hustle.
the hustle's real.
Also found some, I'll have to show you, I found some 3D printed demonic bases that,
That are the ones that we use, or similar.
well, in the same vein. And they also can be printed as toppers, so you could just put them on top of regular bases.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try that next.
Toppers. That makes me sad. It makes me think of mini wargaming, which we can't go to anymore. Think of that bar nearby. Trappers.
Yeah.
That was trappers.
Yeah, it just made me think of it. Oh, yeah, oh, crap.
So I sent you the Hedonites points.
Ooh, cool.
Just make your army as close to that, because that's what the Flesh Eater Court's spearhead is. And I mean, if they are different rules, then we can just say fuck it and just play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're cool with it,
game.
like for me, it's just I want to get a better understanding of the core rules, basically. Just what the kind of choices they made, you know, how they're approaching things, that sort of stuff.
For sure.
So if you're cool with me just using the whatever data sheets, you can play the combat patrol. I won't be I'll try to make it in the vein of a combat patrol. You know, I'm not gonna try and Bigler or list tailor you here. So, oh, what's the best things for vampires that I could take? Don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Thank God. I'd never financially recover from that.
You know what, Army? I didn't even think about it until you pointed out. Yeah, he brought the Flamer faction when he knew I was bringing Eldar. That was all like infantry based. That's so rude.
Wow.
So
he can't help himself.
Yeah, he's just got to get that one advantage, you know.
He can't help himself. He thought I was playing Alpha Legion. I'm like, and then he was like, oh, and then he fell for some bait. I threw some bait.
Some old army bait.
This board choice, and we were playing WTC style, and this one board, it's quite dense along the sides, but there's about a 3-inch shooting quarter right up the entire middle lengthwise of the board.
Oh.
Well, you know he can't say no to that, right? So I threw out I threw out a rhino at an awkward angle, and he moved all his stuff out to blast this rhino.
You're just pressing your fingers together like Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah, then I just moved all my stuff around from safety, and in one turn I dummied 2 Forge Fiends and a Mauler Fiend. Like, see ya.
Oh my God.
No, three Forge Fiends I killed in one turn.
Oh,
One
Oh
turn.
my god. Nah,
So he
that's
was
so much.
left.
Those are
So he was
expensive
left
units.
with like, yeah. So like, just see you never.
Yeah, that's someone who literally cannot financially recover.
Oh, and then so he had a Vindicator, two Mauler Fiends, and a Blitz left, like from a killing perspective.
Yeah.
But at that point, like I had two 10-man bricks of Legionnaire who were safe to just
Play.
live their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, like a Mauler Fiend won't die to 10 Legionnaires and the Lord." I'm like, "You're about to be proven wrong."
No, he
Out the
has
moments,
yeah.
Chaos Lord goes nuts. See ya, dead, lethal. See ya, over.
Never heard of you.
So I will give him. I still maintain that Warp Talons are very good, but I have definitely struggled with them. Um, if you don't put them into soft targets, like against our demon friend there on Sunday, they stayed in combat with 5 juggernauts for
Oh,
like 3
dude,
turns.
good luck. Like,
Yeah, I like
look,
that's just me playing badly and not getting them
yeah,
into
no
like
worries. Did he have bloodletters
games.
in that game?
Yeah, 1 unit.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're so easy to kill. Like I dummied them with one squad of cultists and a squad of
That feels
marines.
so bad. That hurts my soul that you can say, oh, I dummied the demons with cultists. Oh, no.
I just made them my oath target and then moved cultists up and then like dark pack for lethals. You don't care if you lose any guys and you just smoke them because they have 5-up saves.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
No, like they're scary to be attacked by. They're super easy to kill.
Yeah, it's
True.
awkward. It's not ideal.
Yeah. I didn't find anything particularly scary. The juggernauts were probably the scariest thing.
Oh, dude, they're
And I killed
crazy good.
Scarbrand. Scarbrand got, man, my forge feed popped off. Like he had a, not the Defiler, the other one.
Oh, the
Soul Grinder.
soul grinder, yeah.
Yeah, so he put it on a soul grinder, and I had lined up a forge fiend, and I'm like, all right, I'll go with the forge fiend first, see what it does, and then finish it off with whatever. Forge fiend pops off. I don't remember how many hits, but it did 5 wounds, 4 of them dev. Just did 12 dev wounds, and he's like, oh my god, what is this thing? They're amazing. I'm like, well, it looks amazing when that happens. Next turn, does like 9 dev wounds to a bloodthirster. I'm like, okay, they're pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
Undeniable. Yeah, no, they're.
Well, that's kind of how they go, though, eh? They're either heroes or zeros.
True.
They either do 9 wounds to you or 9 wounds to themselves.
Also true. Yeah, I'll get that flesh eater quartz box and maybe I'll do like a little deadline for myself. Maybe give myself a week. Build and paint.
Nice.
And then we can use it for more time.
I will use it for more time. There is a ghoul
A white ghoulish
warband
figure.
Yeah, it's like what were the ones that are like okay? They're like fan made, but they're okay. Was it the 2A?
I don't
one?
remember. There's oh yeah, like yeah. So they have like 1A that's like play tested by and like book whatever, and then they have like 1B which is fan play tested but like very reliable, and then B is like acceptable, had lots of play tests, and then it goes down to like
Wild
I think
West.
you're not really getting into sketch territory till you start running C, I believe.
Yeah, so I remember seeing a ghoul one in one of the lower ones.
Mordheim is I don't even know if it's sketch, you know, because it's Mordheim, right? Like when you have the potential for busted vampire lords on the regular books, just by chance, or like you'll just play games, just not hit anybody, just because you're not. Like the attack sequence feels the same, but it's old and unreliable, right?
Yeah, sometimes you have dwarves that want to dip out and just go to the loot table.
That as well.
Why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So you downloaded Vermintide, eh, Army?
Oh,
No.
On the summer sale? No,
Oh, is it on sale?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I sent it to you,
Oh,
and you were like, "Oh, awesome!
What?
I'll download this."
oh, hang on. I might have been. Did you send it to me on the weekend? I might have been drunk.
I can't remember when I sent it to you.
Oh, look. If it was on the weekend, I was impaired. So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even
that's like the
remember.
best deal you could get.
You'll say
It's-
yes to anything.
Let's
It's
see. Hang
$8.
on.
It's fucking $8.
Oh,
It's
so
eight-
you did. When did you send? June 27th. That must have been a weekend. I was probably impaired. Okay, I'll download it right now.
Cool.
$8 whole dollars.
Starter bundle.
Oh,
Vermintide 2?
Yeah, Vermintide 2 is what
yeah,
you
you want two. You want two.
Do I want the starter bundle? It's only $22.
That's up to you. That's totally up to you.
It's not necessary.
Do I need it?
No, you don't need it.
Because you have it all, right?
I
Melon?
have
And then
it.
I can just
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll have Melon host.
Got you.
Okay, so
Yeah. He'll get us in.
everything
It's like we know Melon. I'm like, all right. You got
everything together is $22. Vermintide 2, $7.97, and then all these expansions. All right.
They're just
Whoa.
You know
more,
what?
more classes and stuff. But you already have access to a lot of classes in the base game. Like you're kind of good.
It'll go on sale again if I like it. I'll just
Yep.
buy it.
Oh yeah, this goes on sale pretty much every Steam sale, like big one.
Yeah, every seasonal sale, it's usually there.
Yeah, it's just very popular.
View my cart. Continue to payment. Can you mute it while I read out my Visa card aloud?
You have to mute it. That's so funny.
7-1.
If you want to wait, like it's almost 9:30, anyways, and I got to
I'm
hard
just
out at that
kidding.
time.
I've got it set up for PayPal.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which is the worst thing you can do.
Makes it so easy.
No, you don't even have to go get my wallet. On like certain sites like Cabela's and stuff, I will not save my I will not save my credit card number because it's like impulse bought. Like whereas sometimes when I have to get up and find my wallet, I change my mind. You know.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Start
it's
to
bought.
reconsider your choices. You gotcha.
Nice.
Nice. We'll go kill some rats.
Hell yeah.
Install content. Cool. Sweet. That's exciting.
Hello from Brazil.
I love
Estradia.
Brazil.
Wow, Astradia. Hello. We're gonna wrap up shortly, but I'll be streaming tomorrow. Just me and chat, the solo hobby jam, and then I kind of enjoy those streams. They're more chill, and I give chat more of my attention.
Sometimes I enjoy hopping on and trolling you.
Yeah, there's that as well. It's very eventful. Highly recommended. Some people say. That's good.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap, I guess. We got
Yeah.
Almost all 10 done.
Oh, nice job. Yeah, I got some, well, that's still a bit more trim jail, but nearly. We're nearly
Feels
out
like I
of the
got-
trim jail.
I feel like I got nothing done. Like I feel like I'm literally no further ahead.
No
well.
befores and afters today. It's all right.
No, I mean mine's just fucking gray plastic. So. Just more Tyranids to the pile.
Yep, but we'll wrap up the call here because it is time to dip. Catch you guys in the next
Bye.
stream. Later.
See ya.